Peace. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. And for those of you who are new, welcome to the channel. Alright, today I'm going to be installing a rock riser. Where do I? Steering rock riser, which is this on the R6. They say it improve it improve handling and response. So let's see. But my main reason though is because I've installed a electric steering in my car. So based on what I've read on this thing, it reduces the stress on the motor. That's my main reason for installing this. But some say it improve on handling and stuff. But let us see. It's supposed to be easy based on my experience. And the next thing, I always use adjustable. I use adjustable. I think it's a 10-inch or 8-inch length adjustable, and it always get the job done. If you have the tool, I think it's if you have a spanner, I think the spanner size is a 32, I think, or 30. I don't quite remember, but somewhere about there, the spanner or the wrench that fits the inner tire in. But I'm going to use an adjustable. So let me just show you a little preview of the setup before I start. Alright, so the engine be right now one. That's the, let's see if I can go down. That's the rack slider. That's the stock slider. I'm going to replace that one. Just going to take them off from there, right there, where you see me pointing, and just put them aside, or just move them out of the way so I can reach the two bolts that's holding the rack slider. You can probably see one right now on the camera. You can see one bolt. Focus. One bolt right here. That's one. So when I remove those bolts, I can remove the rack slider and just install the new one. Nothing really hard. Probably a 6 out of 10 work, or 5. Yeah. But before though, you cannot do this with the car on the wheels. So I'm going to jack up the car now. Then I'm going to move this out of the way, so I have a little bit more room. When you're removing our inner tire dent or rack sliders, for more room, sometimes you have to shift the steering to the right to get more space. So the rack slider go that way, so you get more space. So yeah. Okay guys, so I've taken off the wheels on both sides. We've been having some rain, so yes, wheel off on that side, and also on this side. So I need to relieve right here of any tension, so that's why I remove the wheels. So I'm going to remove this now so I have access to the rack slider down there. This is now out of the way temporarily, so I have a little bit more room. Look like I'm going to have to remove also get this out of the way. The adjustable that I use is a 10-inch. Yeah, it's a 10-inch adjustable. That's what I use. Before you attempt to try and loosen The inner tire ends. You see this right here, this little bend. I would advise you to try and get these straightened out first. Pry off this first. You fold it down on this. I would advise you to try to get them straightened or pry them off the slider first before you attempt pulling these or loosening these, because this is what hold the inner tire then. It's like a safety pin, so when it's bent to fall on the slider, if you try to attempt to loosen these, it won't turn because it's like it's locked on this. I'm going to show you how it works when I take it off. So before you try to attempt any loosening whatsoever, I suggest you straighten these first if they are not straightened. And if they are not straightened, when you're installing them back, I suggest you bend them down on this for safety. So this is what I use to straighten or to pry these off the rock slider, a small pry bar. So this is what I use. Probably can use a big screwdriver, a hammer, anything that can hook and pry. And small tip, just I would suggest unlocking the ignition and keep the keys inside the ignition. It on the access section is that so? Yeah, just turn the key one time, and so you can turn it so the steering can move freely without locking. It's not fully pried off, but you can work with that. But you know what? This is what I did though. I still use the pry bar, but I just get a flat mount screwdriver and place it right there, and just get a hammer and just tat it to just kind of lift it a little. Then I get the pry bar. So you can do that for both sides. I use this short screwdriver because of the lack of space down behind that right there. So after doing that, now I can now attempt to loosen those inner tire ends. So this, why this works for me, the adjustable is for the room, the space right here. When you're like, if you get a long wrench and put it on this right like that, sometimes the wrench will come and hit this, then you don't have any space to turn really. So with this adjustable, you know, and then sometimes you just want a little adjustments for it to fit. So when I get it fit like that, I can turn. Then I turn the adjustable around, turn again, and I keep on doing this until I can use my hand. So like this. Coming off, but I will move a little faster if I just loosen this end. I move a little bit faster because I can just hold the outer tire then or the racking from this ear side and just loosen it and take it out quicker. So I'm just going to loosen this on the other side also. So I'm just remove it from there. It's supposed to be quicker. It still can be done without removing them, but I would move a little bit faster if I just loosen those than to be doing these baby turns right here. And the next thing I remember, I have this ball joint breaker tool which would make the job a little bit easier also. So it's not really not like I'm going to have to be struggling to get them undone once. So I'm going to use this to loosen those outer tire rod ends, so I can loosen the inner tire rod end a little bit faster. Just turn right here. I'm supposed to pop the ball joint from right there. Pop. Alright, so this side now is loose also. The same procedure like the right side. So alright, so with this now loose or detached from the shocks, you can now just from this end just turn it up. Just turn it up and come out like that with this. So I'm going to do the same thing for the next end, for the next side. And while you have this half, you can just test them like this, and if there's some tension on this, it's okay. Like this one, there is tension. Also for this end, there is tension like this, it's okay. But if you have it, when you take it off it's kind of loose, then I suggest you replace them. I'm going to do this now for the other side, seeing that it's also loose. This end now, same procedure. Alright, so with both of them out, you don't want to mix them up. So what I'll do, I'll just put this right here, so I know that it's supposed to go on this side. I'm just going to rest it, put it right here, so I know that it's supposed to go on that side, because you don't want to interchange them, you don't want to mix them up. You don't want to mix up, trust me. Alright, so with those now off, now we have access to those two bolts. This is also like a locking mechanism also, this. So I'm going to have to take off this, because when you start to turn, try to turn this bolt counterclockwise, this is going to hit on this. So I'm going to take off this and just undo these two bolts, and the rock slider would be off. Crap. One more quick tip. You see, after removing the tire rod end, always test fit before you actually remove the rock slider, the current one that's installed on the car. Just always make sure this one or the one that you plan to replace it with fits onto the inner tire rod end. Kind of hard to do the one on still, but yeah, always make sure this fits. Always, you cannot be too sure, just test fit it before you actually remove the current one. Alright, now so with that pin thing removed right there, now I can just undo those two bolts and remove that rock slider. I've loosened them by hand, so I'm just going to I loosen it with the tool. So I'm just going to use my hands now to remove. So this is the rack slider out, the stock rack slider. Okay. So now just to install this new one, just going to reverse the process. Whatever you do first, you do last. So that one aside, no, this one. Oh, this light. Alright, this is how this thing works. So if you notice, if you look close, you see there's a hexagon looking shape right there. This also have that hexagon shape. So when you install it like this, when it's installed, it's locked to this, something like that. So when you try to, when this turns, when this turns, you turn this also. So what happened now? Bear with me, I'm using one. And what happened now when you lock the inner tire then on this, on the rack slider, and fold it over on this, if the racking is, say it's trying to get loose, when it turns, it's going to turn this thing, this washer looking thing, but it's folded over this. So because it's folded over this now, when it's turning, before what it fold on to this, it's going to turn and like get stuck either on this end or around here, because the inner tire then have to turn this also. Once the inner tire then turns, this turn with it. So once it's locked on this like that, and you fold it on this, and it tries to spin, it's not going to turn. So it's like a locking pin for the, or a locking mechanism for the inner tire then. Alright, so now I'm going to install these tire dents back onto the slider. Alright, so the new rack slider is installed. Here it is. Tighten down on that pin thing. Install back. So now I'm just going to install the tire dents. That's the rack slider install. That's the best I could get from bending those. That's the best I could get based on the space and where I have to bend them. With the old one, I could do it from the top, which is easier. But based on how this is designed, you have to do it on the front right here. So because of the lack of space right here to do it, it's kind of more difficult. But I get a little bend on there, so I would have to work for now. If you see here, you can see that they have a slight bend. That would be enough right now, because if it's supposed to rotate and go right here, it's going to hit right here. And if it's to go on the other, if it rotate in the other direction, same thing. So that would have to work right now. So the only thing left is to connect, is to put on back the bolt right here and install back the pin, this pin, and same thing for the other side. That would complete the installation. Everything back in its place. Car on all four wheels, and if you look, you see that it's not completely on a 180-degree line, but it's way better than before. Way better. The hardest part is to that these, if they are bent onto the slider, the hardest part is to straighten them out, but everything else is kind of easy. And that completes the installation. So thanks for watching, and for those who are so new to the channel, just hit that subscription button so you can get more videos. I get notified each time I post a new video. And for those who have already subscribed, thanks for the support. If you are stuck between trying to get whether you want to get it or not, I recommend just get it. You don't really have anything to lose. It's more a win-win for you, because I installed it for one reason, and one reason why I installed it, and I end up getting others, so got the benefits. So it's worth it. Thanks again, and I'll see you in another vlog. Peace.